Zendaya, Josh, Mike. Actually, let me do that again. Great start. Let me try that again. Zendaya, Mike, Josh.
Nice.
Welcome to 7:30.
Thanks.
Only took one rehearsal. It is very unusual for us to interview 3 actors at once, but okay, it's a love triangle, so it makes sense, right? So let's start with that. Zendaya, what was the appeal of this film to you?
Oh man, I think there was many things. I just remember reading it for the first time, and it I have a hard time like reading scripts. I don't know if you guys have that. I just immediately you kind of either know whether it connects with you or not, and this is something that like I couldn't stop like turning the page and wanting to know. And I felt like every time I read it, I felt differently about my character, about their characters, and there was just so much being said on the page, but I think also so much that was unsaid.
You just said it was a page turner because you wanted to know what happened. So did you want to know who you ended up with?
I wanted to know everything.
Yeah.
I think I'm still confused. I think
Me
every
too.
time I watch it, I'm like, what? I question their decisions. I'm wondering why they make the choices that they make, and I think that's what's so fascinating about it. And every time I watch it, I empathize with a different character.
Now, of course, in the film, your character, Tashi Duncan, is obviously the kind of sun that has this gravitational pull for these two. You tell me who your character, Tashi Duncan, is.
Who is she? Complicated, to say the least. I think she's, she's a go-getter, and I think she's very, I don't know, I guess you say ruthless in the way that she goes after the things she wants and needs. And I think I often say that like that tennis really is just like a metaphor, and it's a, outlet in which they use to just stay connected to each other. And depend on each other and wield power over each other and hurt each other. And yeah, I just think that she's, I don't know, incredibly complicated.
You just referred to the tennis. Of course, this is a tennis movie, and you 3 incredibly had to learn to play tennis. I know it's not the first time it's ever been done, but still to get from not being brilliant tennis players to tennis players who can look real on stage.
Zendaya had been, that was gonna be her other career choice.
Yeah,
She was,
the people
yeah.
didn't know.
Don't talk down to her about that.
Well, but talk about you, because actually the director says that you were extremely intense in your preparation. Is that not true?
He was the most.
Mike's the best
Yeah,
tennis player.
he
There's
was,
no two ways about it.
Yeah, he was better from the beginning. Yeah. And also like
A lot better.
a lot better from the beginning. And definitely I think fairly enough outworked us in many aspects.
But did the physical help you get to the mental?
Her mindset is very different from mine. Okay, we are very, very different, and I think, like you said, it's finding your way into different characters, right? So while the circumstances and the choices that they make in life may be very different, where do we connect? And I think the connection, that I felt for her is this idea of grief and loss of a career and a life that she thought she was going to have. And this idea that if there was a world where I was something, my life, my career, or whatever was taken away from me before I really got an opportunity to do what I love to do, I really empathized with that loss and that idea. And I think ultimately that's what she's grappling with in a much messier way than I think I would. But ultimately that's how I found her.
We come back to the relationship between the 3 of you. As we know, Guadagnino uses sexual attraction in his films. It flows in this film back and forward and backwards between the 3 of you in an extraordinarily powerful way. You get this question. How does he, because you're English,
Over
I've
to you.
chosen
Thanks.
you, how does he work with you on the intimate scenes, in the sensual, sexual scenes? How does it work?
Well, I think in some way, the
As
film.
a director, I mean.
Yeah. Incredible.
Rock my neck.
You think did it?
I'm so
You need a
sorry.
chiropractor? We can get one.
Sorry, continue.
I was listening, trying to find you talking about different parts of your career, and I heard you say that you used to be a very, very shy child.
I am still, yeah.
Are you still?
Absolutely, yeah. No, this is all an act. No. But it's true. I mean, I am an actor, and and I think fashion in many ways is like the shield, the guard. It's the thing to like become a character, to come out here and do the interviews and do the things, and then I take it off and I'm, they've seen the the other version, which
That's
is
the thing that's like really common with actors. I think, more often than not, we are putting on like a face. It's really hard. Most actors that I've come across, we're all kind of deeply insecure and trying to find stuff about ourselves and hide stuff about ourselves and playing characters that kind of don't reveal us so much.
Zendaya, was there anything in Tashi Duncan that you took away from her, that creation of the screenwriter? Or were you happy to let her go?
I think it's fun in the sense of, she's just so blunt and straightforward and unapologetic, and I am not that. I think, I am most often terrified of hurting other people's feelings or
But it's within
making
you.
someone else feel.
But that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's within you.
Yeah,
And that's
I
where
get-
it's like, well, let me explore that muscle.
feels like.
Yeah, and you don't have
to
to
rip
carry-
someone down.
Yeah, but you don't have to,
you
like,
don't have
you
to
know
do-
what I
yeah,
mean?
it's
Like,
just
actually,
pretend.
yeah, and it's like, well, let me flex that and, like, see what that is.
Yeah.
And it's a nice thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
So just finally, when obviously you're going through this movie as part of it, you are going through a moment of extreme celebrity. A lot of young girls talk about wanting to be you or be like you. How do you respond to those young girls? So you're not way older than them, but you're just that little generation older than them experiencing that.
Yeah. I think if anything, I want to remind people that I'm just a person, just a human like anybody else. I am nowhere near perfect, as no one is, and that I'm still figuring it out. And if anything, my path looks different than yours. Yours is extraordinarily your own, and I'll never be able to do the things you can do. So it's just about, I think, living in and existing wholly as whoever it is that you want to be, and knowing that I'm doing the same, and I'm trying to be. I don't know, I'm trying to be myself every day. And that it's okay. It's okay to take your time, and it's okay not to know, and it's okay to stumble and be confused and all these kinds of things, because that's just part of living life and being a human being, and that's all we can do. So if anything, it's just about like me existing as myself and hoping that that in some way allows someone to exist as themselves. So yeah, I don't know. I hopefully that answers
great advice.
some of the question.
It is exactly as you say, great advice. You've brought us an extraordinary film, and the relationship that you can still see between you is part of what we can see on film, and it's an extraordinarily intense thing to watch in the film, and a pleasure to see it in real life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike,
Thank you
Zendaya,
so much.
Josh, thank you very much indeed.
Zendaya.
Josh. We got it.